So we're back after, it's probably been a couple of months now since we filmed the video of installing the Luba Mini 800. So it's mid-January, so it's been about 6 or 7 weeks. So the robot's been working sort of a couple of times a week on this lawn, and it's just kept it nicely maintained at this level. Now, this morning we've lowered the cut height down to 25 millimeters, just so it really nicely shows up on video what the lawnmower has been doing. But as you can see, the grass hasn't grown beyond the length that we want it to be. I'd say realistically, we probably want this to be 30 or 40 mil in the season. We're not quite at the level of grass growth that you'd expect to be sort of in the summer, but it's warming up now here in Lincoln. It's still sort of nice and damp and moist. So once we get a lot of continuous sunlight, this grass growth will really explode, and then we'll be able to see the robot is maintaining it and cutting it back to the desired length. We've got a nice impression on the lawn. So the robot is just at the beginning of its task. It's done about 7% of its work so far, and it's on a checkerboard cut. So it's going to cut one way, and then it's going to go around and do a cut all the other way as well. So that, I think that gives a really nice finish on the lawn. Some people will prefer just a zigzag, but I like the chessboard because it means the grass is cut from multiple directions, which is always good. It means that nothing is going to be missed. But as we can see, the robot is going about 5 meters per second now, and I'll just show you on the app as well. So you can change some of the settings on the fly with the machine here. So if I just tap on here, I can change the cut height. So I just change that now, and then the robot, I don't know if you can see that there, the robot is just stopped. It's changing its cut height, and then it's gonna continue on when it's done that. Now I adjusted that to 55 mil. We want that back at 25 really, so I'm just going to reset that there. And we can also adjust how fast the machine is moving as well. So at the moment it's going at 0.5 meters per second. We can slow that right down to 0.2 meters a second. And you can see that change takes place pretty much immediately. We'll put it back to 5. Obviously, slowing down its speed affects how long it's going to take to complete the task. So something else we can do while the robot is working is change how it detects obstacles. So at the moment it's on the standard setting, and what that means is when it sees an obstacle, it will slow down and avoid it, so actively getting out of the way and then returning to its working path. So I can demonstrate that here. So if I get in front of it now, you can see it slows down when it sees me, and it just deviates slightly from its linear mowing path. And then once it's happy that the obstacle is no longer there, it goes back to mowing its path as normal. But what we can do instead, we can change that obstacle detection mode to off. Now what that means is when it sees an obstacle, it will still slow down, but it will not stop working until it softly just collides with it with the bumper. Collide's a very violent sounding word, but I'll show you how it behaves. You can also adjust it to be sensitive, and what that will do is that will look even more for obstacles, but on a lawn that's not perfect, that might have some clumps of dry grass and things, it might think that things are obstacles that aren't. So I would say off or standard. So as we can see, it's slowed down, and then once it's detected that obstacle, by bumping into it, it's now deviating from its path to get around it. A lot of people ask about the noise of robot lawnmowers in general and specifically with particular models. It's not loud at all. So I don't know if it's picking up on my mic now, but what I'll do, I'll just take it. So this is the noise of it when you're right up against it. Once it's a few meters away, you can barely hear it. You certainly won't be able to hear it from in your house. It won't bother your neighbours. It's miles and miles quieter than a petrol lawnmower or even a cordless lawnmower, because the sound of those blades going around and the air pressure they create is nowhere near the same level. In terms of regular maintenance, aside from checking the sharpness of the blades and changing them when they're blunt, or flipping them over and then changing them once both sides are blunt, one thing that it's really recommended to do is every couple of weeks just use the brush that came with the robot or your own stiff brush and just go underneath and just give it the nice firm brush and get rid of all those deposited grass clippings. Now, when the grass is dry, it won't sort of clump up in this way as much, but it always will a little bit, because even at its driest, grass has some moisture in, and that just keeps everything nice and clear. But it's really recommended you do it this way with a stiff brush and not with any water, because while these machines are waterproof to a degree, that waterproofing is generally from the top down, so sort of rainfall and things like that. I really wouldn't recommend that you use a hose pipe, and definitely not a pressure washer for any robot lawnmower at all. They're really not designed to be cleaned that way. So a stiff brush and maybe a wipe down with a damp cloth, but that's the kind of maintenance you want to do for it. No jet washing and no soaking with the hose pipe. Well, I hope you've enjoyed this follow-up video after the installation of the Luba Mini all-wheel drive 800. I think it's something that we're going to come back and check on every few weeks as the season progresses, and as we see really good growth from the lawn, just to see the difference that having that lawn mowed regularly and mulched and no moisture taken away from it is going to be, and just see what the impression looks like when the robot's been working for a long period of time. But that's everything for today. We'll leave the robot working here for now. And as always, please like and subscribe if you enjoyed the video, and leave a comment if you've got any questions or any feedback you want to give us. Thank you very much for watching.